All right, folks, let's talk about the media. Now, the media is simply how the public gathers information. You'll frequently hear it talked about, oh, the media this, the media that. The media is simply the way in which public people and people in general in society gather information. Now, traditionally, the media is in one direction. So think like historically speaking, the traditional role of media is to take information and to push that information out to the public. However, lately, due to a number of different factors, it's more of a pull, where they're going to pull in the public through discussion. So instead of just the media news organizations simply taking information and bringing it to you, now you as a member of the public is also going to be discussing the information, kind of gathering your own thoughts, your own opinions, and really coming to be a part of this process right through there. So traditionally push, becoming more of a pull right through now. Now, there are two different types of media that we really should be talking about. First and foremost, we have objective media. Now, objective media simply reports facts and knowledge. That's it. Here are the facts. Here's exactly what happened. Here's why this happened according to these individuals. That's it. You go ahead and make up your mind. Subjective media is going to do this and then add on something different, which is an explanation with analysis. So this is where you're going to bring in, if you're talking about military, for example, maybe you're going to bring in a former high-ranking military official and say, would you explain this strategy and also give some analysis? What do you think is going to happen here? It's also important to realize that every single bit of information you will ever receive is going to have some form of slant to it. So it's going to either lean more liberal or conservative, depending on who the person is presenting that information. Now, good sources of information are going to make that slant pretty clear, and they're going to try to be pretty middle of the road, presenting both sides of an opinion, still presenting the facts and the knowledge in a way that doesn't kind of obscure that from you, but particularly when it comes to the explanation and analysis, they're explaining kind of where they're at, why they feel the way they do, and what alternative points of view could potentially be saying about this. It is important to not simply discredit a source anywhere because it has slant, but it's important to look through that slant, comparing that with other bits of information, and determining what might be the most important part of that source, whether or not that source is going to help you in terms of understanding the facts and the knowledge. Again, everything, even this video I'm making right now, will have some form of slant. Moving forward, I want to talk a little bit about the scale of objectivity. You can see the citation right through there if you want to see the original. I broke it down. So we're going to have material facts and we're going to have knowledge. Information that's reported like this material facts and this knowledge, this is simply reporting. This is the news. We also have interpretation, which is going to include analysis and educated guesses, right? So here's what I think is going to happen. Here's what this information means. Here's what I would predict would be happening based off of the sources that I'm seeing right now. I can make an inference based off of the information present. This is going to be explaining. So explaining the information, a little bit different than simply reporting the information, but it's still there. And then you're going to have the inclinations, the faith and ideology, and the values. This is where you get opinion news, and I'm putting news in quotes right through there. This is all going to kind of slide between the objective and indisputable fact and the subjective and the disputable non-fact. So again, traditional news tends to be more along the lines, traditional media tends to be more along the lines of reporting. Today, a lot of media is kind of moving back and forth between this. Cleverly, some bits of media are going to present their information as if it is news, when it is in fact more of the analysis, the inclinations, faith, ideology, and values. What I would encourage you to do is to look at different sources of information and come to your own conclusions on where they would sit in terms of this. Are they simply presenting facts, or are they presenting facts and then bringing in their values, their inclinations on what they see happening based off of this? Are they making educated guesses in good faith, or are they trying to convince you of a certain point of view? Again, it's very easy to go from reporting the news to commenting on opinions and stating opinions as if they are fact. In terms of government, this can be very influential because it controls how the people think, what the people might see. In a democracy, this can dramatically influence the opinion of the electorate and sway elections So it's important to understand this information right here. Be very weary of the information you are taking in, making sure that it is not simply inclinations and values being presented as news, because that could become very dangerous for educational discourse. Make sure that material facts and knowledge are going to be present there. Facts matter. Opinions are important, but opinions vary. Facts don't vary. That's as simple as I can put it right through here. Continuing forward with the media, we also need to understand that how information is presented is going to be important. Calling someone a freedom fighter versus a terrorist is very significant. One of those seems to be in a more positive light. You're fighting for your freedom. One seems to be very negative. And in reality, the technical academic definition really comes down to your individual point of view. Again, Nelson Mandela was put in jail under terrorism charges. I think most people would not today consider Mandela a terrorist. Different words being used, like individuals were killed or people were slaughtered, right? There's a difference in the word slaughter and kill. Both mean the same thing, but the way one is portrayed is significant. So looking at how information is presented, simply the words, maybe the photos that are used alongside that, if photos are used at all, is very important in terms of understanding how the media is going to be portraying and how the information is being portrayed. Again, is it reporting or is it commentating on opinions and fact? This is important because it ultimately allows the audience to understand the topic and then form their own conclusion based upon the facts. Forming your own conclusion is important, but that own conclusion needs to come from facts and it needs to come from quality sources. Making your own conclusion on something simply because you feel one way and the facts say something different, that's going to be problematic, and that's going to go away from the idea of news into the idea of opinions and commentating. Commentators are important as well. They're going to be present in a lot of different sources of media. Their main job is to provide further insight and understanding into the topic. So they're going to provide their information, their knowledge. Again, if we look at the different types of leaders, we have high level or high visibility leaders, we've got grassroots, and then right in the middle, we have the mid-level leaders. These are going to be frequently people from there. So former Secretary of Health and Human Services talking about a certain policy that might be coming in the current administration. They would be someone in the middle who could provide their understanding. Particularly important, though, to understand that that's not necessarily just going to be news. At that point, they're bringing in some of their own opinions, and it's going to start to sway potentially. So it's important to be weary and cognizant of that. Comments or questions, do let me know. I will see you later. Good luck.